Good evening, everyone. We're less than 72 hours away from the Nintendo Switch 2 Direct blowout. I'm pretty damn excited. I've been waiting for this console for a couple years now. It's been rumored, pushed back. I don't know how many times. So as you guys know, we got our first look trailer back in January, like 2 months ago. It was just like a quick cinematic trailer, I guess you could say, showcasing like what the Switch looks like, potential gimmicks and all that shit. If we're gonna compare the Switch 1's presentations to the Switch 2, obviously the Switch 1's first look trailer was a lot more detailed and had more of a spectacle to it because it was a brand new concept at the time, whereas in this case it's just gonna be an upgraded iteration of what we already know what's going to be. We're going to have maybe a few gimmicks here and there, but as of right now, it's just we've only had the first, like I mentioned, the first Switch trailer, where I want to go over today give my predictions and ramble on about what games we might potentially see in the Switch 2 blowout trailer, because during the Switch 1 blowout trailer back in January of 2017, we got to see snippets of Mario Odyssey. Actually, no, we saw that in the first one, but in the second one we saw that infamous Splatoon 2 translator problem. So we saw Splatoon 2, we saw Shin Megami Tensei 5. I don't remember if Metroid Prime 4 is that when it was first announced, and other games. So even though in this case more games were revealed in the first Switch's trailer compared to the first Switch 2's trailer, like in the first Switch 2 trailer we only got Mario Kart 9 or Mario Kart X or whatever you want to call it, but I do believe we will be getting more game announcements in this upcoming trailer, and more than just more than just an in-depth view of Mario Kart 9, Mario Kart X, or whatever. I wouldn't doubt we're gonna see snippets of the new 3D Mario game that I doubt's gonna come out in launch. Maybe the 4K Breath of the Wild remake that was rumored a while back. What was the other? The Matrix game, the PS4 Matrix game. A lot of third parties. We might see a sizzle reel of games that potentially don't have a release date, maybe just a release year, like Doom the Dark Ages might come out a year later after it's released on other platforms, because it was ported by Panic Button, I believe it was. So that's a game I'm hoping to see, and I don't doubt we'll see at least eventually on the Switch 2. As for if it's gonna be like teased in the Switch 2's blowout trailer, I do believe so. I could see it being there, and as well as what would be another game, Elden Ring, along with the DLC, like as a definitive edition game, similar to how in the first Switch trailer we had Skyrim. This time it would be Elden Ring, to showcase like the Switch 2's power, because I might get into this a little bit later, but apparently I know there's a different rumor each day about different aspects of the Switch, like release date, pricing, power, all that shit, but at the very bare minimum it's gonna be at the base power of the PS4 plus new bells and whistles to make it look prettier. That's what I'm getting at, bare minimum. But that bare minimum can run Elden Ring and its DLC, so I wouldn't see why it wouldn't be able to run on the newest Switch 2 hardware. And that is a game that, even if it's just a teaser, would be a good showcase to show some of the power capacity of the Switch 2, of what it's capable of doing. Other third parties, Doom Dark Ages, Elden Ring, indies. Some people are speculating, I think more so hoping, that we'll see Silksong, Hollow Knight Silksong, finally get like an official trailer with an official reveal date. Maybe they kept putting off so long that eventually they're like, fuck it, we're gonna release it we're gonna coincide with the Switch 2's release date. I doubt that's the case, because apparently it was originally teased on a Switch Direct, a Nintendo Direct, and then it got moved over to the Xbox Direct. So weird, or vice versa, I don't remember. But either way, it's a multi-platform game. But as for if I think Silksong could be a time exclusive, who knows? That'd be pretty cool for us Nintendo fans, but who knows? We might see some Microsoft games that, because apparently they've been buddy with Nintendo for a couple years now, but apparently the rumor is we're gonna see Master Chief Collection, and I forgot the other game. It's been a while since I've read up on this, but it would be cool to see the Master Chief Collection teased in the Switch 2 presentation. I'm trying to think of big IP names that can either have brand recognition, can show off the power of the Switch 2, or something substantial that we can't just show off on like a Twitter Direct. Or because also, okay, so now that we got some of the games out of the way, now we're gonna focus more on, I guess, the gimmicks. What gimmicks do we plan to see on Switch 2? And I think a good segue, we'll be talking about another game that I'm speculating, hoping, pulling out of my ass that we'll see is Mario Paint. Because in the first teaser trailer for the Switch 2, we got what looked like potentially a teaser for a mouse mode when we saw the Joy-Cons detach from the Switch 2 and then slide across the table. Well, actually they attached to the wrist strap and then slid across the table like in a mouse like format, computer mouse, not so much like mice. Well, mice emulate mouses, whatever. But so that could be a game that's also used to present the gimmick of the Switch 2, a potential game to show off the potential gimmick of the Switch 2, which is Mario Paint, showing off the mouse mode and other games. And if that is the route we're going with, we could see other big games being teased that are heavy focused on mouse controls, like for example League of Legends. Like we already had Overwatch at one point, and I'm thinking of like big computer games that are originally like PC not exclusive, but they're known for being on PC, or just RTS games. We already have Command and Conquer, I believe, on the Switch. I keep saying but so yeah, that would be another thing to show off the potential mouse mode. Another potential gimmick of the Switch is we still don't know what the C button does. The biggest contender right now, well, the recent contender is, and I think it's a lot of baloney, is that the Switch 2 C button is actually a connect button, but it's not a secondary screen that you buy. Apparently you can use your original Switch as a second screen for your Switch 2, which I guess, but I don't believe that's the case. If anything, they might as well just make a separate second screen at that point. But the safest bet is that C button will be C for community, which is just connecting to like the Mi Plaza and Mi Plaza 2.0, Miitopia, or Mi Plaza, sorry, and Street Pass, being able to Street Pass with other people, communicate there, message boards, all moderated by Nintendo. You can share pics, screenshots of games, video clips, drawings and all that fun stuff, being able to add each other on as friends. If anything, I think that's the safest bet. I do hope for the dual screen thing, but yeah, I don't think that's gonna happen. I'll be more than happy to be proven wrong, but those are the two main gimmicks of the Switch 2. I, like some people, I'm just happy to getting more of the same but better. The gimmicks are just something to be, I guess, icing on the cake. But the thing is also, for example, like on the Switch 1, the gimmick for like HD Rumble, the ice cubes in the cup, and then the IR camera were like used for like 5 games, and it was put off to the wayside. The biggest quote unquote gimmicks that ended up becoming actual features was the hybrid nature of the Switch 2. That was more, well, like I said, it became an actual feature of the console, and being able to do tabletop, handheld, and not a lot of people play tabletop from what I've gathered. It's either handheld or docked mode, that's what it's called. But yeah, and as for specs, we've been getting all kinds of stuff about, oh, the chip is 8nm, 5nm, Tegra X27839, 1080p screen. As for like specs, like Nintendo outlining specs, they haven't been big on outlining the power of their consoles as of like the GameCube. After the GameCube, they kind of stopped the power wars. They dropped out of it. Like with the Wii, it was just an overclocked GameCube, and then the Wii U was just basically an HD Wii, and the Switch was already quote unquote underpowered at release. It came out in 2017, and it was carrying the Tegra X1 chip by NVIDIA that came out in 2015. So yeah, if the most I think they'll be presenting power wise or specs wise is like the screen. They'll say it's a 1080p screen or how many inches the screen is. But apart from that, the way they're going to demonstrate the power of the Switch is by demonstrating high output games, like demanding games like Elden Rings, like as long as showing like Elden Rings with like a 1080p resolution running at 60 frames without actually stating that. It's just showing you by like how smooth the game is running. But yeah, like, and as for pre-order date, the recent rumors is it's gonna be pre-orders are gonna go up right after the presentation. Another recent rumor is that apparently pre-orders are gonna go live 1 week after, on April 9th. Who knows? I would prefer April 9th. Well, give everybody like some buffer time, but I'll be ready either or. Hopefully I can beat the bots and other people with better internet connection. As for the release date of the actual console, my money. So the final Switch presentation was, actually I think I'm gonna stick to my older prediction. I think like end of June, because we're still doing the play test for the Switch 2 consoles up until like the beginning of June, I think it is. And what's the point of doing like pre-play tests if the console's already out? So I think late June to end of June is when the Switch 2 will launch. But yeah, I just wanted to give my quick ramble predictions on the upcoming Switch 2 presentation that is in less than 72 hours. Pretty fucking excited. Well, let me know what you guys think will be present in the presentation. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and hit that noti bell. Thanks you all for watching, and have a nice night. Thank you, bye.